So our last topic of the day is going to be talking a little bit about some esports stuff, that being in the form of 100 Thieves. And I had some people that reached out to me, whether it was in comments or on Reddit or on Twitter, some asking the question, what my thoughts on 100 Thieves was, because I've kind of told everyone my thoughts on some of the esports teams out there. And one of those that I haven't really talked much about is 100 Thieves. And obviously, they've had some announcements. They got a brand new facility, which I obviously saw the facility tour. And wow, guys, 100 Thieves in this portion of this last topic. I guess really what I wanted to say is kind of give you my thoughts on obviously 100 Thieves as a whole and why I believe that they are on the pursuit right now to become the biggest esports organization in the world. And obviously that is going to be a massive feat for them to accomplish because of when they started. And then of course, how many other teams are out there that already have big brands, that being like, FaZe and Optic and some of these other teams out there. But 100 Thieves, guys, when they first announced, and Nadeshot announced that he was making this team called 100 Thieves, I thought, man, that's a really cool name. That was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, man, that's a really sick name. And then on top of it, when they showed off the logo, I was like, man, this looks really cool. Then there was a hiatus where there was nothing that came out about 100 Thieves. Like, we were waiting and waiting and waiting to see what was going on. It was like, oh, maybe Nadeshot just doesn't want to do it, or, something ended up happening, or, whatever the case might be. But then all of a sudden, things started happening. And they started happening more rapidly. And now, after, all this time, they've got a brand new facility that's, the Cash App facility is what I think it's called. And my God, what an incredible facility that 100 Thieves has. They've got an incredible facility. They are easily on the pursuit, guys. Not only inside of their facility do they have, areas for the different esports teams, but they also, for the, when I say esports teams, I mean where the esports teams train and things of that nature. And then, of course, their business development sector and of course, where all their streamers and their content creators are doing their work in those studios, and all the way to their apparel line, where they're always working on new apparel and new things to push out there because they want to be an apparel brand. I gotta say, I've been critical of 100 Thieves, guys. I really have in the past, because some of the reasoning why Nadeshot didn't get into the Call of Duty League kind of bothered me. And just reasoning, that, and when I say with the Call of Duty League, the big one was that he felt that he didn't want to be a part of the COD League because they couldn't keep their name 100 Thieves, which obviously isn't true, because LA has the LA Optic and the LA, Gorillas, which obviously the Gorillas are completely new, but Optic was able to keep their name. FaZe was able to keep their name in Atlanta. So to me, I think it was just kind of it just seemed somewhat like an excuse to me. And, there's been other things that have come up in the past with 100 Thieves that just kind of, I don't know, I just didn't fully buy when they would explain, why they were or were not doing something in particular. But that being said, 100 Thieves has surprised me over the years, guys. Really surprised me. I didn't think that they would be as big as they are now. I knew they were going to be big because of Nadeshot and because of the people behind, the scenes, and, Nick Merckx, of course, was there before he ended up, being, moving onwards to FaZe. So I knew the team was going to be pretty big, but I did not think that they were going to be as big as they are this quickly. And I think I really credit where credit's due to Nadeshot and those guys over there, but it's also, I think it also shows that they're not just trying to be, a gaming brand. They're trying to do gaming, but they're also trying to do be a lifestyle brand, a clothing brand, and so they're really expanding to other sectors and other industries almost. And I think that is why 100 Thieves could very well catch some of these other organizations out there as far as a following is concerned and all of that. Now, it's going to be tough, because FaZe is up there. You got Cloud9, Team Liquid, Optic. You got all these different teams out there that have been around for so long. But I will say this, 100 Thieves is certainly making a name for themselves. They are really, massive amounts of credit to them. Seriously, massive amounts of credit to those guys over there for all the work that they've been putting in. You just look at the Cash App compound, and my God, you look at that place and it's like they're building something here. They're building something that's going to last a lifetime, and that's what's really what I'm really excited to see what they continue doing. I hope they end up getting into the Call of Duty League. I hope they end up, kind of expanding more and more as they go here into other games. Those are all things that I'm excited about. 100 Thieves is on the pursuit to become the biggest esports organization in the world. Yeah, I said it. Nadeshot is a competitor. He competed in Call of Duty for years. And now as an owner of a team, he's still competing. He still wants to be the best. And you can see that based on what they're doing over at 100 Thieves. And there's no debate about it. And you got to give massive amounts of props for that. Will they get there? It's hard to say, but I'm very excited, to say the least, to see what they end up doing here in the near future and even in the long-term future, to see what they do. And I'm glad that I was able to kind of see what they were doing from the beginning and seeing where they are now. Massive amounts of props to them, and huge kudos to Nadeshot and to the other, owners over there. I'll be interested to see what they end up doing here in the future. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about 100 Thieves. What do you think about 100 Thieves? And, are you critical of them, or do you really like 100 Thieves? And what do you think about the moves that they're making? And where do you think they're headed in the future? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.